Hey, how's it going, everybody? Brian Bowman here, and it's another episode. I guess they're episodes now since they're happening all the time. But anyway, we got another eCom Underground Daily, and I've got something pretty cool today. So I was at a grocery store yesterday, and because my mind, I should back up. So I'm a huge fan of the old sort of copywriting greats and the marketing greats. So two people that I study very closely and go through all their material, and I'd recommend all of you do too, is David Ogilvy and Eugene Schwartz. I'm actually really excited because I just got a copy of the hardcover book that's completely out of print of Eugene Schwartz's Breakthrough Advertising. It is hands down probably one of the best, if not the best book on copywriting. It should be. I mean, we've talked about this before, and it's something you'll hear me say over and over again. As somebody's trying to build a business and a brand, you have to get comfortable with the fact that you are a marketer. That can be hard for some people because at first you're like, no, I just sell products. But you are a marketer, and that's good. That's a good thing because you need to get your message out to the world, especially if you have a product that you're proud of, something you've built. I want to talk to you about this today. But if you've built something that you really are trying to make a difference, even something as simple as some kombucha, it is definitely worth you considering what your message is and what your promise is to the customers you're going to serve. Now, anyway, I'm a huge fan. So that my mind has just been, when you sort of start studying one subject, or maybe you're looking at a certain car, you've driven it, and then you see it everywhere. So I was at a grocery store, and I love kombucha. Now, some of you may not know what kombucha is, which already is telling of kind of what this brand stands for and like what their promise is to their target audience, right? So, but one of the things I want to talk about is it's a practical example of the three things we spoke about last week a lot, which was what is your product's promise, what is your product's positioning, and what is the big idea, like the preeminent idea or the big idea for your product. Now, this may seem kind of, I don't know, like kind of basic, but there's three ways you can approach your business, and you need to approach it from all angles. So you have to have the principles of your business, not just am I gonna use Facebook advertising and exactly what should I write in my copy, but really what does your business stand for? What's your message? That's how you're going to start positioning yourself differently in the marketplace. If not, you're going to have a commoditized product, and a commoditized product can only compete on price. That is it. So be very clear about that. If all you want to do is sell a commoditized product and just always be playing a price war, then you don't need to think about positioning and your promise and your message to the market. But if you really want to separate yourself and start building a long-term brand, you're going to have to think about these things. And that's like the foundation, right? Then from there, you'll decide, a lot of times based just on your positioning, what's the best strategy to take. So, and I'll talk about that with this product, but what's the best strategy to take? In other words, should you use funnels? Should you set up, should you be on Facebook? Should you be on Pinterest? Depending on the positioning you took. And then there's the actual tactics you're going to use. Should you leverage messenger bots? Should you put a headline, like where should your headline be? And should you be calling out more pain or more pleasure? Like that's more tactical. But, and like what color button should I put as my opt-in button? Like what'll convert better? Those are like more very tactical steps. So I took a look at this bottle. So it's kombucha. If you don't know what kombucha is, it's basically tea, but it has it's fermented tea. It has probiotics in it. So right away, their promise, like probably most people who sell kombucha, is it's going to give you energy and it's healing for your gut. So that's one of the reasons people use kombucha, and it's just will give you general well-being and give you sort of the essential things you need for a healthy gut and a healthy immune system. That's pretty much the promise of all kombuchas, right? So that's great, but then you have positioning within that space. So you take the world of tea, and now you have a promise that like I'm gonna talk about kombucha, and my kombucha my tea does these things. Maybe because it's kombucha, right? Like it has these live cultures, these probiotics that normal tea does not. So that's something of a promise of the benefits that your product is going to give, right? Now we have positioning. So one of the things you'll notice about this is it's organic. Now, in the world of kombucha, so we've taken the whole tea world, and now we've broken out our promise of what our tea is going to do. Great. But now there's positioning in that market. There's tons of kombucha everywhere, right? You're seeing it crop up more and more. So they've decided they're going to be organic. So they've positioned themselves in the market as organic kombucha. Another thing that they've done, which I wish they would do a better job of calling out, is I wish they would talk more about their sugar content. They definitely are the lowest sugar. Now, I'm a consumer of this product, so I'm speaking from a consumer's mindset, but also from like a marketing angle. They have low sugar content. I wish they would call out that positioning, because that is something that would resonate with a lot of the audience that consumes this. Now, another thing is their price point. This is by far the most expensive one I saw on the shelf. So not only is it organic, they've taken a different look to their branding. It definitely has more of like a very natural look, which is going to cater to this market. But the price point is higher. So one of the things my mentor and my coach, Russell Brunson, says, there is no competitive advantage being the lowest price. You either want to be the highest or the lowest or the highest. Trying to compete on price alone, there's not a competitive advantage. So they've actually positioned themselves as a premium product on the shelf, which is great, because there's going to be some people that they're starting to cause more and more polarity. Do you see? Before they were all kombuchas, right? Now they're starting to cause this polarity, because now there's going to be some people who are like, I don't want organic. That's too expensive. So it's going to be, some people are going to be repelled by it, and then some people are going to be attracted to it, right? It caught my eye for sure. But again, I wish they would focus on the sugar content, because that is one thing that is one of my pain points as a drinker of kombucha. So now we've got the promise, we have the positioning. So what is their big idea? And I think this is so cool. And I want to research the company more to see how they're playing on this. So check this out. On the back here, on the back of their label, they say, it all started with love, a love for my health and the health of my family. Okay, so that's very cool. There's a big idea about there that this is like maybe a family company, a family business. You hear businesses do that. They're trying to separate themselves with one big idea that like, we're just a family brand. A love for the wisdom and traditions dating back to the Qin dynasty of China in 221 BC, and married with a love for innovations of the present. Boom. So that's their big idea. And then you look at the brand name, and it's 221 BC. Very cool, right? So what they've done is, their big idea is, there's all these other kombuchas, but we're taking the old, the past, and we're blending it with the present. And we're fusing these and delivering it to you. Very cool. One thing they could go a step further is start giving that a name. Giving that, like, talking more about what separates this, a proprietary blend, let's say, or let's say there's something, what exactly are they fusing with the old and the new? They've told me they are. It made a general statement. If they could just go a little bit deeper, it's huge, because now I really want to know what it is, and then I start becoming invested in this idea. And what happens when I start believing their big idea, when I believe their story, and at the end of the day, we have to tell a story. When I start buying into their story and I like the story, what happens? Price starts becoming less of a concern to me as a consumer. Because now I don't want just any kombucha. I don't want just any organic kombucha. I don't want just any organic kombucha with lower sugar content. I want the one that has enough, that there's like a thought put into, and a part of the recipe is bringing some old, like, cultural or like tradition or ingredients or some benefits of like this old Chinese dynasty, something like that. So if they would take that just a step further, I think this like takes this brand another level, because right now what's going to happen is the price is going to start becoming more of an issue to me, and it's actually becoming an issue. So every day I go to the counter, I go to the shelf, I have this one, and I have the $2.99 bottle. Now it's not organic, but it's still kombucha. It still gives me the health benefits. Before, I never noticed the price. Now I'm starting to notice the price. And if they would just play up more on their big idea, I will stop looking at the price and I'll start becoming married to this. And if they could find a way to bring me into their culture, into their tribe, now I start becoming invested in this mission and what they stand for. So I hope that was helpful. It got me really excited, because I was sitting there drinking it, and I thought, this is awesome, because it tied in so well to everything we've been talking about this week. All right, so next week I've got something special. Some of you know that I have some time I've spent on the Amazon side with advertising. So that's probably the thing that I've done on the Amazon side. It's probably the thing I've done the most of. So tomorrow I'm going to talk a little bit about AMS. A lot of you guys are wondering about it, and I know it's a hot topic right now. So I want to reveal some of that stuff to you guys, some strategy there. So I think you'll find it very helpful. And I also have a special guest this week. I'm super happy to bring him on. So stay tuned for that. But otherwise, have an amazing rest of your weekend, and we will talk next week. All right, bye.